Hello, I hope you're doing well today. My name is Ian Green and I'm the musician for Music Dreams and also for Ian J. Green, two different artist profiles you can find wherever you stream your music. And today we're going to be looking at part 3 of Unit 11 of the Intermediate Music Rudiments course that is a wonderful book that is written by Mark Sarnecki. And this series of tutorials and also the organized units is a way that I've helped students in the past to organize the material in this very thick textbook, just to help take things and work on them in bite-sized portions. So today what we're going to be looking at is something called triads on scale degrees. So let's go over to a shared screen and I can explain this a little bit further. We are going to be looking on page 78 at the lesson in this particular part of the book. Now, what we can call a scale degree, as we know, are the different specific notes in a scale. So if we were to start off with the simple scale of C major, the first note, C, is the root, of course. Then we can go to the second note, which is the supertonic, E, which is the mediant, F, which is the subdominant, G, which is the dominant, A, which is the submediant, and B, which is the leading tone. And then back to C, where we go to the tonic again. Now, not only do the specific scale degrees apply in music where we want to create scales, we can also create triads on each note as well. Now the triad for C major on C is what we call the tonic, or 1. The second note of the scale, which would be 2, is a minor triad. And so you can see here in this example that the 2 is lowercase. That outlines a minor triad. The third note of the scale is a minor triad as well, and it's notated with a lowercase symbol. The fourth note of a major scale is an uppercase Roman numeral 4 because it's a major triad. Roman numerals that are major are always uppercase Roman numerals in music notation and especially in harmony, which is the description and analysis of music. 5 is the dominant chord and is a capital 5 Roman numeral. 6 is minor, which is also a minor Roman numeral. 7 is diminished, which we'll talk about later, but it's got a different symbol. It looks like this. We have the 7 that's smaller, but then also a little circle which outlines diminished. But we'll talk about that another time. Right now we're looking at major and minor chords. I did want to explain what it looks like though. So we have 1 major, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, 6 minor, and then 7 in brackets diminished. Those are the different chords in a major scale on the different scale degrees. Now in a minor scale, major triads occur on 5 and 6, and minor triads occur on 1 and 4. A couple of the different triads in a harmonic minor scale are augmented or diminished. So we're going to be skipping the notes on the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 7th notes of the scale and primarily looking at the chords on the tonic, the subdominant, the dominant, and submediant, also known as the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, and the 6 chord. In the scale of A minor, we have 0 sharps and flats. A minor harmonic also has G sharp. So, the root position A minor triad as a tonic is A, C, E. And you can see how the lowercase minor triad symbol is written for the tonic triad, or 1. Now we'll skip over to the 4 chord, the subdominant, and in this case it's a minor triad with a lowercase 4. This is just because of how the chords are organized in that specific scale. The 4 chord is always minor in any minor scale. Now the harmonic minor scale changes the dominant note because we have to include that G sharp from the scale itself into the triad as an accidental. So then we create a major triad on the 5th note of the scale, the dominant. Now in the normal diatonic or natural minor scale, the notes starting on the 6th note of the scale are major. So therefore, the 6th note of a minor scale is a capital 6 and is a major triad. Something that's interesting as well is that when we think of a minor scale or we think of a major scale, the same formula of chords can be applied or used in any scale. So if we know that especially the most prominent notes in a major scale are, and chords as well, the strongest chords in a major scale are 1, 4, and 5 because of the quality of major, that same information can be applied to any major scale. That's some of the fascinating logic related to music theory and how different composers can then write pieces using different scales, but also not have to reinvent the wheel every time they want to write in a new scale, because the theory matches every scale of that certain type. So if you start on any major scale, sharps or flat scales, in the key signatures of the circle of fifths, and you use the chords on 1, 4, and 5, it'll always work. Those chords will always be the strongest because of how the scales are designed. Now in a minor scale, the popular chords to use are 1, 4, and 5 as well, and then 6 sometimes. But in this scale, to create that minor sound that's sad, the 1 and the 4 chord are used to create and maintain that quality of a sad minor scale. But then the dominant, or the 5th note of the scale, with the raised 3rd or raised leading tone of the scale, creates that beautiful sound between those chords. A minor, D minor, whereas if we're in the scale of C major, going to 4 now. I was just improvising on some of those chords. So you can hear how in a minor scale there's a certain quality and type of sound based on the chords and scale notes in that scale, which is very different from the quality and type of sound of a major scale. So I hope this tutorial is helpful as we continue to unpack triads and chords, and especially chords on scale degrees. In another tutorial, I will describe a little bit with working on some of the practice questions in the book. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.